After applying your firewall protection profiles to zones, you can monitor their effectiveness using the reports on your orchestrator. Click on Monitoring, and under the Security section you'll find Protection Profile Top Talkers, Protection Profile Trends, Flow Baselines, Flow Baseline Trends, and Internal IP Reputation from ECOS and Orchestrator 9.6 onwards. You'll also see Firewall Drops, but this relates exclusively to the Firewall Zone Security Policies rules, which are separate to protection profiles. Monitoring active and recent flows can show Firewall Zone Security Policy drops, but will not show any flows dropped or blocked by a firewall protection profile. Another useful resource is looking at the EdgeConnect appliance user interface directly by right-clicking and selecting Appliance Manager. Then navigate to Support Log Viewer and choose the firewall log. Here you will see FPP drops and the IP addresses that were affected. To begin monitoring your profile's effectiveness, the Protection Profile Top Talkers chart is a great place to start. It will show the IPs that produce the top concurrent flows, flows per second, or embryonic flows across all segments and zones. If you have ClearPass integrated, the eye icon can also show you details about the user behind that IP address. You can see the top IPs that cross the min-max thresholds by clicking on Violations Count. For more detail about how your profiles are performing, the Protection Profiles Trends report is very useful. Charts are visible for only those zone or segment pairs where the Stats Visibility option is enabled. There is a limit of 24 zones that the appliance will be able to export stats for. If there are more than 24 zones with FPP configured, choose the 24 for which stats visibility is required. As with most of the reports, you can choose a time range from real-time, 1 hour, 4 hours, 1 day, 7 days, and custom. You can report on source or zone, which shows you the min-max value thresholds in light blue and red respectively for each metric you select. A source report will show you peak flows and drops by source IP, whereas the zone report will aggregate all the hosts in that zone into one. You can mouse over a column on the graph to see more details. In source mode, that will show you the source IP. Also, with your mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out. The data granularity depends on your chosen time period, but is always shown as peaks rather than averaged. Real time is updated and shown per second. 1 and 4 hours are both 5-minute aggregations. 1 day is hourly, 7 days is daily. Custom lets you choose the granularity. Choose the source segment and zone you are interested in, along with the metric, and if you'd like to narrow down, the IP protocol. The peak flows graph is the maximum flows seen. It'll show you per host in source mode, or all hosts together in zone mode. As with most of the orchestrator graphs, you can click on the legends to display or hide data. Any flows not subject to a drop action are shown in blue, whilst dropped flows are orange. Due to sampling periods, bursts, etc., it is expected that the number of flows may slightly exceed the configured threshold. Threshold violations count tells you how many times a threshold was exceeded. There is a counter for both the min and max values. Peak drops simply shows just the drops that occurred per host in source mode. Total drops is the total number that occurred at the time period and granularity selected. Denied hosts count and denied packets report on any temporary block source actions. The reports are similar for the other metrics, but slightly different when you switch to zone mode. Now the per host graphs at the bottom are replaced with error drops for the zone, although you can toggle group and individual to see the stats for the zone or by host IP. The error drop graph is common to all metrics. Again, you can select which errors you'd like to see by clicking on the legend on the right. There are 23 error codes in individual mode, summarized into one of 6 categories in group mode. When you click on individual, you'll see greater detail about a host of interest. The error codes are documented in RKB. Search FPP error drop reasons. The 2 flow baselines reports are only available if you have enabled baseline learning on your FPP settings. You can find more information about adaptive DDoS protection and baseline learning in our security guide. Search EdgeConnect SD-WAN Security Features Guide and look from page 72. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.